Joining us now for more is attorney Joshua Koskoff, who scored a major legal victory against gunmaker Remington over the Sandy Hook shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, and is giving new hope to shooting victims. Thank you so much for joining us. So last February, you received the largest payout from a gun manufacturer in history, talking about $73 million from Remington for the families of Newtown. Do you think that the families of Lewiston, Maine could receive a similar kind of payout?
Well, of course, it is an option to pursue legal remedies against the gun industry here, but it's a long road. So do I think they can? I'm an optimist. I think that there is a way, but it's a long, arduous road.
How long was that road for?
For the Sandy Hook families that I represented, it was nearly 10 years. We settled the case nearly on almost as we're approaching the 10-year anniversary of the horrible shooting at Sandy Hook.
Have you heard from any of the families in Lewiston?
Well, I couldn't tell you if I did because of, but I haven't. But I'll be up there next week discussing options and educating the public.
So there's a 2005 federal law that basically shields gun manufacturers from legislation. You were obviously able to find a way around that. Explain kind of what that loophole was.
Yeah, well, the law known as the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act doesn't protect unlawful commerce in arms. So in other words, if the manufacturer breaks a state law that's applicable to the sale or marketing of firearms, they can be held liable. And so what we did in our case was we found that this gun conglomerate was targeting our children with branding and trying to create a message and a relationship with kids, literally kids, teenagers and young adults, and they were promoting criminal use of the weapon, notably lone gunman mass shootings. And we said, hey, that breaks the law in Connecticut. It breaks the law of unethical marketing. And that was how we were successful in getting through that so-called immunity.
What do you say to critics who say, look, this is a mental health issue, this is not a gun issue? What if you had somebody who had a mental health breakdown and then they got into a car and then killed a number of people with a car? Would you be able to sue the manufacturer of that car?
If the car company, promoted its vehicle towards the mentally unstable and said, effectively run over and, drive this car at an unreasonable rate of speed and run into a bar and kill people or run into a school, absolutely they'd be held responsible. So, we live in a world where there's mental illness. When I was growing up, there was mental illness, but there wasn't mass shootings like this. And there were AR-15, so obviously something's changed.
What do you think lawmakers need to do?
Well, lawmakers, I think my own view is that lawmakers should work on the age restrictions of guns because I think the effort to ban weapons is so fraught right now and that the bigger payoff would be simply to raise the age in which firearms ownership is lawful.
But that wouldn't have changed the outcome in Lewiston, Maine.
Correct. There's not going to be one law that changes everything. That's the burden that the industry places on the rest of us in society. It puts a burden on the police, it puts a burden on our communities, it puts a burden on everybody.
Do you think that if the public were more readily able to sue gun manufacturers, we would see a decline in mass shootings? Again, we're talking about with Lewiston, it was the 565th of the year. Yeah,
absolutely we would see an impact, and because it would engage the industry in the solution instead of the industry being promoting a problem. Just much like the lawsuits have brought the American car industry, made it a much safer industry.
Do you see any ray of or glimmer of positivity in all of this? I mean, people who I talk to regularly, they say, is this just the way it's going to be now? Is this just the way life is going to be, where we can expect when our kids go to school or go to a bowling alley or a restaurant that these kinds of mass shootings will just take place? Well,
there's certainly cause for concern. I mean, after the Sandy Hook settlement, it wasn't 3 months before the top shooting and then the terrible shooting down in Uvalde. But I do think that there is a possibility here that the legal industry that I'm in or the civil legal system can be used in the same way it was used to bring the car industry into a place of reasonable conduct. And that can occur even with the gun industry, which is not known for self-reflection.
Joshua Koskoff, we thank you so much for your insight and really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Linsey.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.